Hello everybody and welcome to the Vulcan Productions Manchester to Leeds route developer diary number 3. Today we're just going to do a short little developer diary compared to the other two that have been quite extensive, just to show you some of the new work that's gone on, to show you a little bit of what we're doing in the minute, and basically to keep you up to date with how things are going with the route. So as you can see, this is one of the brand new station assets that we've had built by Callum. This is Mossley, between Manchester and Huddersfield. Callum spent the last 2 weeks making this asset. He's built all the walls on the rocks around the station, as you can see. So yeah, pretty simple two-track, two-platform station. Although the surrounding terrain and everything is quite difficult to work on, so a lot of it has actually been custom made from scratch. So what we'll do first, we'll take a little look around here, show you some of the smaller details and stuff that Callum's put on. And then we'll take a look at some of the other stuff that we've done as well. We have got another new station built, which is Woodlesford, and I'll show you around that as well before we sign off for this developer diary. So this is, as I say, this is Mossley. Callum's been very busy with this one. So you got all the walls down these sides are all custom. Obviously all the signage. I like these little posters that he's put on, which are nighttime photos of a Mossley, I think, in some sort of like a cartoony format sort of thing. Stuff like the network maps. Now, a point of discussion from me and Callum has been that we're not going to brand the signs and stuff. So if you look there, we actually got Northern scribbled out, but we're going to change that because we don't like the way it's looking with the Northern scribbled out. So we're going to take the scribbling bit off and just leave it blank, so it just says network map, and then there won't be anything there. That's just so we avoid using Northern and actual brands as much as possible. So again, you got the little sort of got a castellated bit of the wall here, and then as you move further along, there's more little bits. And I really like this one that Callum's done. You can actually read every letter on the sign when you zoom into it. And it's a little tourist poster around there about the area and Mossley in general. Then you got the timetable. You can actually read that pretty much as well, which is cool. And then moving down here, you got the fence and the car park down the bottom end. And then on the other side, you've got all these custom rocks that Callum's made actually behind the station. So he's actually made those specifically for Mossley Station. Quite high res pictures. I think he actually went and took photos of the rocks at Mossley to do it. And on that side, you've got the waiting shelter. I mean, you bear in mind this is still work in progress. It's not finished fully. The model itself is pretty much finished, but we haven't finished adding the little tiny details to it yet. But it is more or less done. We've got the VLL trail, the Pennines. This transparent outline is famous for the VLL trail that runs across it. All the pubs and stuff along the route to Huddersfield. I think just to go to Dewsbury as well, I'm not sure. I know certainly like Marsden and places like that are on the VLL trail. And again, you got the same maps and stuff. And I like what I did with these posts as well, actually put the little bits onto them that are on it. And on this side you got the bridge, the footbridge, that's also part of the station. You got the entrance hall up here. And then on the back side it's a bit more simple. I think we'll have to ask him to put some steps there. And back under here you've got the rest of the bridge. I also like what I did here. If you look at the platform, it's all hatched like it is in real life, so people don't stand in it. This bit here is unfinished, so obviously ignore the fact that there's nothing for the road to be balanced on. This is a custom row of houses with outside toilets that I know Callum wanted to make. So they're actually outside toilets that are on there in real life. And that's another custom row of houses that's there as per the real location. And then another custom bridge at that end. So that's quite a few custom assets there just at Mossley. And then this area obviously it's very work in progress, but I think this is Scout Tunnel he's got down here, which again is a custom asset. Still work in progress, you can see the ground and stuff through there, so we'll not take too close a look at that because I don't think it's fair for Callum to be shown that yet. And then on this side we've got more rocks and stuff that have been planted. He's planted the bushes into them as best he can, as they are in real life, because it's not just a flat rock face. And then moving down this way is sort of where the scenery ends for now, for a small gap. And then we look at the bits then that we've actually worked on before. Well, you've got more custom rockery in here. think that the last developer diary number 2, I think this was sort of early stages. There wasn't much going on here. But since developer diary 2, he's actually done a lot more work here. And this is heading towards Greenfield. We've got another variation of a foot crossing. These lights actually light up in real life, the little blue lights. Quite a unique asset actually. I've not seen that in real life myself, other than this location that Callum showed me. I've not seen it anywhere else. And they actually little blue lights at night. Obviously in game you do see them. So that's another custom foot crossing. I think that's the third one we've got now. And then we've got these little gates that Callum has made as well. And then moving up the gradient slowly towards Diggle. Got this scene. I love this little scene that he's done here. You get some really nice screenshots here on an evening, afternoon, when the sun's moved around nicely. And this is now, as I said, heading up towards Greenfield. We got another custom bridge here, and then a custom aqueduct slash pipe. He called it an aqueduct to Callum, but I think it's probably a pipe. I'm honestly not sure. But yeah, that's another custom asset. And then again, some more custom rockery. And then the original variation of the foot crossing that we had with the footpath also added into it. And the research for all these custom assets and stuff, obviously, as you would expect, we're doing it in ourselves and going out and getting the photos. So that's why it's taking a lot longer. We're really not rushing this project. It's going to be a long while before it's done. But hopefully you can see there, I mean, he has done another mile or so there of scenery. It's not just been sat dormant. And he's done 2 custom stations as well. The other one we'll show later. Myself, I've done about 2 miles of scenery in the recent weeks since the last developer diary. I think it's about 3 miles since the last developer diary. So we've done a fair bit. Down here we've got another house and estate. And bear in mind, this is actually from a build that me and Callum did about a week ago, so even since then there's actually been more detail done. That's still work in progress, obviously. We've got a nice churchyard here. I think he's made some custom gravestones as well, which are these here. And then moving up towards Greenfield is the section that we showed. I think we might have shown it in developer diary number 1, but this asset here is completely going to be rebuilt. We're going to redo Greenfield because that was an early asset for Callum before we even decided to do a payway route, so it's not really going to be worth showing. So this is again going up towards Diggle. This has seen a little bit of work to finish it off, but it's not much changed since the original developer diary because it was nearly finished then anyway. Bit more detail on this foot crossing a footpath up there, and it also goes down into the town. And as I say, we've shown all that in Developer Diary 1 and 2, so if you want to check those areas out up there, please do have a look at Developer Diary 1 and 2. They are on this same YouTube channel. They're also in a playlist, which this video is in. So now we'll take a look at the side of the route that I've been working on. Callum's been working on the Lancashire side of the Pennines. I've been working on the Yorkshire side. Again, if you want the full information about what we're doing with this route, so Manchester to Leeds, ignore that bit on the left. That's the Southport line, which originally was part of this route. That's going to get cut off from the release version. It may get re-added in at some stage as an extension, but there's nothing actually on it at the moment. It's just track. So just ignore that bit for now. So we've got Manchester Leeds via both Wakefield and Dewsbury. So the area that I was working on last time when I did the last developer diary was the area around Methley. And indeed that is still not far away from where I'm working at the moment. I'm actually up near Woodlesford now, so I've gone a little bit further up. It's taken quite a lot of complicated scenery to get there, so we'll have a look at what I've been doing. I'll try and explain in a bit greater detail my stuff, because obviously Callum's stuff I've not been able to watch how he's done it because I don't watch how he's doing it, so my works, and I can explain to you how I've been doing it. So this is just after Methley Junction. I think last time we did a developer diary we'd completed up to here. We were just doing these roads here. So that was the last developer diary in April. Now, I don't think much has changed here other than terrain painting. I don't think we've really changed much on this bit. It's still virtually the same. Little bits have probably been added here and there, but nothing major. This is all new since the last diary. So we've put all the detail into these gardens. Try and add as much in as we can without killing the frame rates. And I think if we actually go to the end, if you go to the end of developer diary number 2, I think it was this bank in here with this bush behind it I was actually working on. So you can sort of see there how much has been added in. So we've gone to the effort. I've gone to the effort again of trying to make sure the embankments and everything look varied. You got no notice if you look from the track level, all the trees, different heights and stuff like that. So it feels like you're in a real world. Fair detail on the roadsides. We've gone for quite a bit of detail on these roadsides. Try not to go too over the top. Certain areas will get more detail than others. If you're in a big town, you'll probably find a quarter of a mile street that's really high detail like this, sort of higher end detail. Then you'll get a half a mile where it's a little bit less, and that's just trying to help frame rates. Because if I did a full town at this sort of level of detail, then the frame rate would get hit quite bad. This does hit the frame rate to about down to 50, 60, and we don't want to be going much lower than 50, 40 on our rigs because that's going to be 30, 25 on lower end rigs. So 50s on my rig is the sort of aim for us minimum. Generally we're getting 90 to 100 across the route, but then in the towns like this where we're going high detail, obviously it does drop a bit. So we've gone for some really sort of nitty gritty details, such as this skip that we've actually filled with rubbish. We've got the broken bike in there, pallet, a cone, a tyre and some rubble. And then we've got the houses with the garages and everything like that. This bloke here having a conversation. Just trying to get in as much of the little smaller details as we can. Trying to use a few different garden fences, stuff like that. Keep it so it's all varied, so it doesn't all look the same. So every street has its own identity. See different styles and stuff like that. We've got quite a few garden fences. The sort of lesson in detail as you go along the row. So you'll find the first few are certainly the ones connected right to the tracker right there. But then as you get further out, such as there for instance, it's just going to be trees because there's no point in wasting frame rates. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to see that anyway, and you're not really going to go here and start going, oh look at that garden. It's not, it makes no sense. So you got all these gardens up here. These ones are done because these are actually viewable from the track. So if you're driving along and you want to glance across, or you say you're in passenger, you're going to see these gardens. So you obviously have to do a bit more detail there, which is what we've done. You got the bus shelter there. That's actually a station shelter that we've just doubled up as a bus shelter for metro area. There's all these gardens down here have been done with the walls. I mean, this here, for instance, I think this took about 2 hours just to do this little street here. So it sort of tells you how long it takes to do these things, and this is why the developer diaries aren't going to be hours long, because at the end of the day we get very boring just watching me doing a few walls all the time. I do try and do a few live streams on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/TrainSimTV_Mark. I do try and do a few of those, probably one a month or something like that if I can, if I get the time from work and time to actually sit down and do it, so I can show you guys what we're actually doing in a bit more depth. Anyway, this is some allotments near Mossley. This is actually Mossley village that we're coming up to now. Mossley Junction is that bit down there. It's actually the village is actually called Mossley Junction, and this one is actually called Mossley. So you got these allotments down here again. We're going for quite a bit of detail in here. You got the guy building his new shed, his foundation of his new shed. You also got the guy reading his paper, and then his car. A little dirt track down the back. You got the football pitch for the housing estate here, and again you got a bloke stood in his allotment there. Got a little bridge under here that's been added in. This side is just fields and they're not been painted yet, so the terrain paint hasn't actually been put onto this bit yet. And then behind there you got all the, I'm not sure if that's a nature reserve, but you got the River Aire here, and all that area is like fishing lakes and stuff like that. There's going to be some more trees added onto that hillside in the background, but these bankings here are mostly free of any shrubbery. There's sort of just, it's an old coal mine, so it's all just filled in coal mine basically, so it's that dirt and stuff which needs added in with the terrain paint obviously, which is what I'm going to do. Again, terrain paint is put in here, so ignore where you see ground that's just bare green. That is just literally grass that's not been painted with terrain paint yet. So this is looking along from Mossley Junction up to Mossley. Again, we've got loads of houses up here that's nicely detailed. Been putting a lot of effort into these. I think this little area here took a good hour or two. I think I streamed some of this as well at the time. So again, what it is trying to keep the variety of the gardens as well. So you got different wall there to what you got here and there. Just trying to make it sure you look down a street and it's not just like a uniform or one type of wall and stuff like that. Now that adds to the development time massively. So I could do the street without all these little details. I could do that street in 10 minutes, but we're not in a rush for this project. You know, it's going to be for payware, and it's going to be to finance our lives, as I've said in the developer diaries. It's to finance our real life. It's not a job. It's not to run a business. It's just going to be money that we, you know, through our lives. We're both trying to save up for houses and stuff like that. Me and my fiance, and Callum's obviously trying to save up for his own things. So, Callum's not my fiance. That sounded a bit weird, didn't it? Myself and my fiance are trying to save up for a house, and Callum obviously is doing his own thing. So, yeah, I don't want to try and make it out as if it's some sort of big business thing. And that's the reason I don't think the price will really go too high unless the costs dictate that. Now, we've already got an agreement in place with wagons for the lease station purchase, which has already been discussed on the previous developer diary. That's all been signed off and agreed now. So that's part of the costs there. That's a couple hundred quid. I think it's 400 quid. Kindly had a donation from somebody who will remain anonymous to actually pay towards that. So that's obviously helped us out. But then we've got we don't have our costs fully sorted out yet for this route, so we're not going to know that probably until the last few weeks, which is not going to decide the price finally. Now, I said in a previous developer diary we want it to probably be about 15 quid, but you know, I'm not going to say that's for certain. I would suspect it won't go above 20 quid maximum, because I don't think there's any, with the requirements it needs Liverpool to Manchester, settle to Carlisle, and it needs a Just Trains Common Library, so obviously it needs these requirements. Hopefully you can see what we're trying to do with this. We're trying to put our maximum effort into it, but it's obviously taking a long time to do it. But we want the price to be fair, so like I say, 15 quid is what we're hoping for. Might rise to 20 if it has to do, but we'll see where we end up with that. And obviously, if we have to make any changes, then I'll come clean obviously about that. But I mean, that's the plan at the moment. It's 15 quid is what we're hoping. This here is Mossley Station building. It's where Mossley Station used to be. You've got this crossing here that's not finished yet. We've got some new fencing to add. These white fences are going to disappear. I actually went down to Mossley Crossing about 3 weeks ago and took pictures of all this. And Dan Holmes is kindly hoping to make some little signals that actually operate with the crossing and the track to tell if it's clear or not. And I'm hoping that Dan Holmes is able to do that in the next few weeks. He's kindly offered to do it. Then over there, that's actually a housing estate now, but according to Google Earth and everything in 2016, it was still fields, and I think it looks better as fields, so we're keeping it as fields on that side. Again, you've got a garden here with a load of detail on it, and all the fields and stuff. Gardens that we've tried to vary up the fencing and stuff down that side, and then along here, it's sort of like a nature reserve sort of thing. Another new asset is this mesh fencing that Callum made for us. So he's gone to a lot of detail on that. That's a nice new loft for us. And this along here is more or less complete. We've not got the terrain paint done all the way along here yet, obviously, but otherwise the scenery detail along here is more or less done. This is coming along between Mossley and Woodlesford. Woodlesford is the other custom station that I mentioned that we've obviously just finished virtually. There's still quite a few signs to come through it, but the model itself is done, more or less. There's another custom bridge there. As you head along the embankment here, pretty level track along this section. And then you got sewage works on that side, as you can see. So again, not finished because we're not done terrain painting. And then it's a long straight actually. In real life, it's a really long straight. It's like a good. It's probably about 2 miles long, this straight. It leads you right up to Woodlesford Station, which is where the straight ends, and it turns into a curve there as the line starts to head back towards Leeds. So here you got a plantation of newer trees that's been put in. And there's quite a lot of detail to go in on this area actually. There's we're probably going to get a custom waterside area. So this bit here is like really complicated, like marina and stuff, which is probably going to have to be done as a custom asset. So it's awaiting me to actually be able to go and take some photos, I believe, at the moment. Is the plan. And then down here it's coming into Woodlesford, so you got some houses in and some gardens again. It's been all detailed up. And this has just been done in the last couple of days, so this is really work in progress still. And As we're coming to the end of this, starting to come towards the end of this video, I'll show you down what it's like at Woodlesford Station, because Callum has gone to quite a lot of work there to make the asset for me. And this is coming into Woodlesford. So you got the car park fully full of cars. Now, in real life, it's always full, and then a weekday. Every time you go, it's always full. Unless it's a bank holiday, it's nearly always full. So I've recreated it like that. Tried to add a bit of clutter down this side, and then you got on this side, you got the Castleford / Wakefield / whatever, westbound platform here, platform 2. All the textures and everything were taken to the actual rail station. So you got the hut that we've had made there, the shelter, some signage that we've had made. Again, you can see that's obviously the exact Woodlesford Station sign picture. Again, the blurry bits will disappear and I'll just turn white, because we've decided that's what we're going to do. It may mean that some of these lines of text have to be taken off in the same time, but we'll see. Woodlesford Station sign, and then an interesting little feature about Woodlesford is this 190 mile post actually on the station. I presume that's 190 miles to St Pancras, because this used to be the Midland Main Line. So that is, 190 miles to St Pancras, I imagine. And then you got this huge footbridge, and I remember Callum, obviously it took him ages to do this footbridge because it's really pretty big. So you got all this side, it goes up there, and this is the disabled ramp, goes up there. Then to get back down, it goes right over there, then goes right down there as well. So it took Callum ages to do that because of how intricate it is. Custom bike shelter there. Cobbled road's a custom asset because on the actual approach to this side of the station, the original road here is cobbled. Departure boards. Again, the same sign over here. And then you got a bigger variation of the shelter on this waiting area of platform 1 with a ticket machine inside for Northern. More signage to be added here, and when we get the assets done. And that's the view towards Wakefield. This is the view towards Leeds. So we've got the signs on this side as well, the lamps. We've got 2 versions of this lamp. We've got the dirty version, which is this one. And I'm not sure if I've used the clean one here because they've all pretty weathered. Oh, there's a clean one. So you got the clean one, and you got the weathered one because they obviously vary in terms of their location and everything. So that's a custom asset of Woodlesford, as you can see. And this has taken quite a while to do. So we wanted to get it right, we wanted to add these steps and stuff on. So that's all been done. Little thing like these grills that are actually on the side of Woodlesford platform as well. And then the datum plates, which we've had made as a custom asset. Put my teeth in. And then these slant fences, that's a new custom asset as well. And as you can see, it's such a long straight down there back towards where we came from at the start of this video at Mossley. And that's going to bring this developer diary to close. I do hope that the next one will be a longer version and also a shorter time till I can make it. I apologise, it's obviously quite a long time between these videos at the moment. It's a very busy period for me, work and real life as well. And obviously the important part is actually working on the route, and I've been able to work on the route quite a lot recently. But getting the time to actually do these videos and the streams is a lot harder. And thank you for your interest. We're going to make a web page on the Vulcan Productions website for this route in the due course. It's a case again of me having time to do it. I've got so much going on at the minute with the VP site and also my work for Just Trains as well as doing videos for TSTV. Please do check us out at TSTV on Twitch. You can find Tom at twitch.tv/TSTV_Tom. I'm at twitch.tv/TSTV_Mark. Tom streams usually Wednesdays, I think it's 7:30, Fridays at 7. But he also does extra streams even there, so you're more likely to find him live than me. I do streams when I can be bothered and when I can find the time to do them mainly. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Vulcan Productions on Facebook because that's where I post a lot of the images and stuff of updates of the route, so that's where you'll find the actual information on there. And thank you again for your interest. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye.